Good morning on this March 22nd, 2025. Today I want to talk about the subject of the soul trap. Right? There is interesting information available on the internet about the soul trap. Let me preface by saying everything that is said about the soul trap by people such as David Icke or Isabella Green is accurate, is correct, is true within their range of consciousness, within their reality. It is not true in my reality, because we are the ones that energetically create the reality and perception. There's a biblical verse that sort of talks about this. I think it says, as a man thinketh, as a man thinks, so he is. There is a principle, a dynamic that is related to our thinking, to our thoughts, and the creation of reality. Thoughts are vibration. Thoughts are frequency. They generate frequency. And to the issue of soul traps, the soul trap, and the people experiencing the consciousness of the soul trap. It still is a level of awareness that is still rooted in a degree of duality. You see, in duality, you have the opposing energies. So in the thought form of a soul trap, you're still in duality at an astral level, where you still perceive deceptive trickster energies. You're still at odds in polarity with the dimension of the astral plane. Because if you're thinking that there are tricksters and deceivers that are trying to trap you back in the soul, you have a fourth dimensional duality that you're perceiving through. So, as you think, so it is. As you believe, so it will be. Your thoughts make it so. So I want to state again, Isabella Green and David Icke are absolutely correct in their perceptions. It's absolutely true in their reality. Now, take me, for example. I have accessed a dimension outside of the duality, meaning above 5D. Actually, I think this is more like 12D or 13, the 13th dimension. And in that dimension, you will no longer have the perceptions of duality. That means there is no longer an enemy. There is no longer a trickster there, or malefic forces that are trying to entrap your soul. Everything truly is one there, and you perceive from the dimension of oneness. Meaning, if I can put it in this example, let's take the example of the story of the Anunnaki. That the gods that came from the skies in their flying machines. That, in my perception, that is just you in another timeline and in another dimension the dimensions of the star seeds, which is also still an aspect of duality, just at a higher plane, because there are conflicts in the universe, in the plane of the universe, right? So there's duality even at a universal level. But again, the dimension, you're not high enough in your dimension to perceive it even from the apex point. So for me, not being in the duality dimension, I see that the Anunnaki is me, I am an Anunnaki that projected the human experiment and experience onto this planet. I chose to have this experience as a human on this planet. And I'm thinking of it more as in an evolutionary project, right? Not being imprisoned by anyone. If anything, I imprisoned myself. But it's an evolutionary game that apparently is set in this time capsule of 26,000 years on the astral calendar. And so I see myself as having signed up to jump into this roller coaster and play this game of life, right? It's like the board game of life. And it entails every kind of adventure you can think of, right? But let me get to the point of why you are perceiving through the duality lens. The duality is reflected and projected from the accumulated trauma in our DNA. So we still have the memories of the horrific events that happened in our human lifetimes. And we have had multiple lifetimes. So this memory is now the mirror and the lens through which you perceive, right? And your memories are creating vibrations. And the vibrations are the radio waves that allow you to hear the music or to hear the BBC broadcast. It allows you to hear the different broadcasts. So your broadcast is still influenced by the frequencies of the trauma, the subconscious trauma. And so you're still vibrating in the dimension of victimhood. You still see that there is an antagonist that is against you, right? And so the same with the soul trap. You are in that vibration and looking through that lens, still not high enough, that's only 4D, and you're seeing an antagonist that is controlling you. But it's really just your shadow being projected of the traumatic experiences that you have had over many lifetimes. So you're seeing your own shadow, and that becomes your antagonist in this movie, right? So it's not another that's controlling you. It's your own mind in the mental dimension, informed from the vibrations of your trauma that is controlling you, that is holding you trapped in a lower perception, in the perception or mentality of victimhood, right? So as you rise up into higher dimensions and eventually exit duality entirely, you see the full picture, that there never was an enemy, that the enemy is just the shadow that your mind is projecting, even in the near-death experiences. Everything is created by your own mind. And so to bring it back, you can change your reality by the way you think. If a thought or a belief no longer serves you in benefiting your human life, Don't think of escaping this place and going into the void and finally being free of this trap. No, no, no. If your thoughts no longer serve and benefit your human life, let go of the thoughts and create a new thought. See it from a different angle. If you can shift yourself out of this victimhood, shift yourself out from this shadow that your mind is projecting. Your mind is your own shadow, your own monster. Your mind creates your own demons even. It's all in here. This is where you need to shift it. So you can go from being someone taken hostage and imprisoned here, or you can think of it, I've chosen to come here to renovate this place. It's dilapidated. It needs an upgrade. And we are here as the working crew to do that. So if I get on the other side, I have no problem going back to the light and coming back for another spin. If my soul wants to benefit Earth in another lifetime, right? So it's a total change of perspective. My perspective is absolutely true and real for me. It doesn't need to be for you. You are creating your own reality, your own truth with this thing here, with the thoughts that you create and knit together to weave your story. Okay? I hope this makes sense. I always find these topics very interesting, and of course I always try to expand on it further. So, mind your thought, mind your mind, because this is your creation machine. Have a fantastic day, my friends, and we'll talk to you soon.